Jai Hind friends. Now we are going to start our next module, Multivariable Calculus 1. The topics covered under this module will be double integral, change of order of integration, change of variables, triple integral, and applications to area, volume and center of mass. We have already studied integration in earlier classes. In that level, we have defined integral a to b f(x) dx as limit of sum. To define this integral, suppose y equal to f(x) is a function. We have divided the interval from a to b in small subintervals. Then length of each subinterval is multiplied by functional value to obtain terms like this. These all products were added and the quantity so obtained was calculated in limiting form when length of each subinterval approaches 0. In that case, the number of subintervals will tend to infinity and the quantity or the limit so obtained was the value of integration a to b f(x) dx. We have also seen there that this integration a to b f(x) dx gives the area below the curve up to x axis from x equal to a to x equal to b. Now we are going to generalize this concept to two variable, and here we are introducing double integration. Let us consider a function f(x)y of two variables x and y defined in the finite region A of xy plane. Divide the region A into elementary areas delta a1, delta a2, delta a3 up to delta an. Then calculate this limit f x1 y1 functional value multiplied by a small area, then functional value multiplied by other small area, and calculate this sum. The limit of this sum as n tends to infinity, n means number of subintervals or subregions, delta a means area of each subregions approaching 0, then this limit is called double integral of this function f over that region A. We denote it by writing a small a here below double integration sign. Now we understand that what double integration represents. Let z equal to f(x)y be a surface and R is the region in xy plane. The double integral over R f(xy) dy dx, I have written dy dx for dA here, gives the volume of the solid under the graph of f and above R. Thus, suppose z equal to f(xy), this is a surface given by this equation. It is region R on xy plane. Then the solid lying between this region and this surface above xy plane is looking like this. Then this double integral over R f(xy) dy dx gives the volume of this solid. Now we are going to understand that how can we evaluate a double integral. To evaluate a double integral, there will be two cases. Case 1, when limits are known to us, that is directly given, and another case when limits will be required to be calculated. If limits are known, that is given to us, then double integral can be evaluated as we evaluate definite integrals in earlier classes. Just repeat the process of integration twice and we will get the value of double integral. We will discuss it now. The evaluation of integral is done from inside to outside. What does it mean? Suppose I am given this double integral. Here we are given x varies from 0 to 1 and y varies from x square to root x. That is, limits of x are from 0 to 1 and limits of y are from x square to root x. In that case, we can see that limits of y are occurring inside and limits of x are occurring outside. Therefore, we shall evaluate the integral first with respect to y, the limits which are occurring inside. Then we shall evaluate the integral with respect to x. Thus, what we will do, we can write it as integration y equal to x square to root x, x plus y dy, and then evaluating this integral, the result will be evaluated with integrated with respect to x for limits of x. Here we should note that limits of y are from x square to root x and here we are writing dy dx. If limits are from x inside and y outside, then most of the books follow this convention dx dy. But we will be not rigid about this and we will be stick to our sequence of limits. Thus, we will not bother about this order dy dx, but in our convention we shall see the sequence of limit and this sequence will tell us that what sequence is to be followed when integrating. Thus, if we are given limits from y equal to x square to root x, then we shall integrate with respect to y first and then with respect to x. If limits are like this, x equals to 2 minus y to 4 and y equals to 0 to 4, means limits of x are occurring inside and therefore we shall integrate this expression with respect to x first and with respect to y after that, and therefore this will be written, or this can be written as this: x equals to 2 minus y to 4, x plus y dx, and after integration I shall evaluate the result with respect to y after integration. Now, we should know that when we are integrating with respect to a variable, other variables are treated as constant. Thus, if we are integrating with respect to x, then in that step y will be treated as constant. If we are integrating with respect to y, then x will be treated as constant. Thus, suppose I have this integral x from 0 to 1, y from x square to root x, x plus y dy dx. In previous slide, we have seen that this can be written in this form. Now, because limits of y are occurring inside, therefore we shall integrate with respect to y first, and during this integration x will be treated as constant. So, this x dy will become xy. This y on integration will give y square upon 2. Applying limits of y, we will get our integration in terms of x, and that can be evaluated easily. Sometimes what happens that we are given limits, but it is not exactly told that what is the variable whose limits these are. In this case, we should know that the limits which are in terms of x are limits of y and vice versa. Thus, if I am given this integral, here we can see that there are two variables x and y. Therefore, one of these limits must be for x and another limit must be for y. Those limits which are in terms of x, they must be limits of y, and therefore this x square to root x is written as y equals to x square to root x, and the remaining limit, that is outermost limit, is limit of x, that is x from 0 to 1. Thus, whenever we are not told that which is the limit of which variable, then we will always follow this convention. The limits which are in terms of x will be the limits of y, and the limits which are remaining will be limit of x. Why it is happening, we will see it in coming discussion when we will understand that how can we find these limits. On the other hand, if I am having an integral like this, here the limits are from 2 minus y to 4 and 0 to 4. We are not told that whether these are limits of x or limits of y. Then we must know, because these limits are in terms of y. Therefore, definitely they will be the limits of other variable, that is x. So, limits of x are from 2 minus y to 4, and remaining limits, outside limits, will be the limits of y. With the help of this slide, now we can easily identify that what are the limits of x and what are the limits of y are if limits are given but variable is not disclosed. Now, we take an example to evaluate a double integral if limits of double integral are given. Example says, evaluate integration from 0 to 1, 0 to x square plus y square, 0 to x square plus y square dA, where dA indicates small area in xy plane. In this integral, I can write dA as dy dx, no harm. Now, we see that limits are from 0 to 1 and limits are from 0 to x. Those limits which are in terms of x, they will be the limits of other variable, and therefore, the innermost limit is the limit of y, and the outermost limit will be of remaining variable, that is x. Thus, this integral can be written as y from 0 to x square plus y square dy, and x from 0 to 1 integration with respect to x. Now, we have seen that limits of y are occurring inside. It means we need to evaluate this integral with respect to y first, and when we shall evaluate the integral with respect to y, remaining variables will be treated as constant, and therefore, x will be treated as constant. This x square, when integrated with respect to y, gives x square y, because x is constant this time. This y square, when integrated, will give y cube upon 3. The limits of y are from 0 to x. Now, I apply these limits. When this y is replaced by limits, it will become x minus 0. This y will be replaced by x, will give x cube. This y will be replaced by 0, will give 0, and I obtain this integral. Simplifying, it gives x cube. It is x cube upon 3. It gives 4 upon 3 times x cube. Now, we can see that it is a very simple definite integral which we have evaluated many times in earlier classes. So, it can be integrated directly using the formula x raised to the power n. Integrating x raised to the power 3 gives x raised to the power 4 upon 4. Applying limits, I obtained 1 minus 0 because this 4 cancels out, and the value of the integral is 1 upon 3. Let me sum up once again what happened. This integral was given to us. Limits were also mentioned. We were required to evaluate this integral. For this, I first identified that whether these are limits of x or these are limits of y. We have seen that these are limits which are in terms of x. So, they will be the limits of other variable means y, and the remaining limits will be automatically limits of x, and therefore, this integral was written in this form. Because limits of y are occurring inside, so integration will be first performed with respect to y. Integrating with respect to y, I obtained this expression. When we were integrating with respect to y, x were treated as constant. Now, simplification provided us with a simple definite integral. It was evaluated by usual process, and I obtained the value of this integral. Here we can see that double integral is representing a volume of a region, and therefore, the value of double integral will always be a number. It will never contain x or y, and for this it is necessary that the outermost limit, this one, must be constant. This limit, the outermost limit, will always be constant. Variables can occur only inner integrations. Now, we move towards another important idea of this topic. Here, we are going to learn that how to find limits of double integral. So far, we have seen that if limits are known, then it is not difficult to evaluate double integral, because it is simply integration which we have done earlier in earlier classes, repeating 2 times. If limits are not known, then how can we evaluate double integral? First of all, we shall find limits of the integral, and after that, that integral will be evaluated. To find the limits, we will always be given a area called region of integration. Whenever we are not given limits directly, we will also be provided a region called region of integration, that will be nothing but a area in xy plane. We shall first draw that region of integration. After drawing that region of integration, suppose this is our region of integration bounded by these curves and these 2 lines. We shall divide the region into vertical slices. This is an elementary slice which I have drawn here. Now, by these vertical slices, we shall first find limits of y. To find the limits of y, we shall use ends of this vertical slice. The lowest end of this vertical slice is lying on this curve. So, we shall find value of y from equation of this curve. This will be lower limit of y. The highest point of this slice is lying on this curve. From equation of the curve, we shall again find value of y. The value of y so obtained will give upper limit of y. These values of y in general will be in terms of x, they will be functions of x. So, these limits will be placed inside. Now, to find the limits of x, we shall find extreme points of the region. The leftmost point of the region will give lower limit of x. The rightmost point of the region will give limit of y. Thus, the value of x on leftmost point will be the lower limit of x. The value of x on rightmost point will be the upper limit of y. What I have told, I have told that to find limits of a double integral, we shall first draw the region of integration. Then we will slice up the region into vertical strips. Considering a vertical strip, we shall find limits of y in terms of x. For this, its lowest point lying on a boundary, equation of that boundary will give value of y, which will be lower limit of y. Equation of upper boundary on which highest point of the slice is lying will give upper limit of y. And then to find the limits of x, we shall find leftmost point, not equation, we shall find leftmost point of the region, that will give value of x, which will be lower limit of x. The rightmost point of the region will give upper limit of x. Now we shall apply these limits, and evaluating the integral, we can calculate the value of double integral. We now take an example to understand that how to find limits of a double integral and how to evaluate the integral. Example says, evaluate this double integral over r xy dx dy, where r is the quadrant of the circle x square plus y square equal to a square, where x greater than equal to 0 and y greater than equal to 0. We already know that x square plus y square equal to a square is a circle with center origin and radius a. Quadrant of this circle, in which x and y both are non-negative, is to be considered. Thus, the first quadrant bounded by this circle will be our region of integration, like this. This is our circle x square plus y square equal to a square. Because we were supposed to consider only non-negative values of x and y, and therefore this area lying in first quadrant bounded by this circle is our region of integration. Now, after drawing the region of integration, we shall find limits of x and y with the help of this region of integration, which is named as r here. As we have seen that we shall divide this region into vertical strips or vertical slices. This is an elementary slice. We shall first find limits of y with the help of this vertical slice. We observe that this vertical slice has its lowest point lying on this boundary. This boundary is part of x-axis. Equation of x-axis is y equal to 0. So, the value of y obtained from this equation is 0. This 0 will be lower limit for y. Now, to find upper limit of y, we consider highest point of this slice. The highest point of this slice lies on this circle. The equation of this circle is x square plus y square equal to a square. From this equation, I calculate y square equals to a square minus x square, and it will give y equals to square root of a square minus x square. This value obtained here, root a square minus x square, will be upper limit of y. Thus, limits of y are from 0 to root of a square minus x square. Now, we shall find limits of x. To find limits of x, we shall use corners or extremes of the region. On leftmost part of the region or leftmost extreme, it is bounded by y-axis. At y-axis we have x equal to 0 everywhere. Therefore, at any point, if I consider any point on this boundary, then the value of x will be 0. So, this 0 will be lower limit of x. This point A will be the rightmost point of the region, because there is no other point of this region lying on right of A. So, x value at this point will give upper limit of A. At this point, the coordinates are A, 0 and the value of x at this point is A. So, this is upper limit of x. Thus, limits of y are from 0 to root a square minus x square. Limits of x are from 0 to a. Now, we shall apply these limits in this double integral. Because limits of y are variable in terms of x, therefore, we must place these limits inside, and that is why I have written 0 to root a square minus x square inside and the constant limit 0 to a outside. It is mandatory for us that we write the limits in proper sequence. The limits which are constant must be placed outside. The limits which are involving variables must be placed inside, because the value of this double integral must be a constant after final evaluation. Now, this integration will be performed because limits of y are occurring inside. So, integration will be evaluated with respect to y first. Integrating this y gives y square upon 2, x will remain constant. Limits of y are from 0 to root a square minus x square. Applying these limits, I obtain this expression. Now, it is a simple definite integral in terms of x. It can be evaluated easily. This x when integrated gives x square upon 2, a square will remain constant. This x when multiplied in x square will give x cube. So, it will become x4 upon 4. Applying these limits, I obtain a raised to the power 4 upon 2 minus a raised to the power 4 upon 4, and simplification gives a raised to the power 4 upon 8. It is the value of our integral. Let me once again explain that how we calculated limits. We were supposed to evaluate this double integral. Whenever limits are not mentioned, we will definitely be provided an area called region of integration, and we shall use that area to find the limits of the double integral. For this was the area. First of all, we considered a vertical slice. The lowest point of this vertical slice lies on this x-axis. Its equation is y equal to 0. So, value of y given by this equation is 0, which was lower limit of y. The highest point of this strip was lying on this circle, and from equation of circle I calculated value of y, which became upper limit of y. For limits of x, we shall not use equations, we shall use only endpoints of the region. The leftmost point of region, however it is not unique, will be lying on this line x equal to 0, and therefore, the x value at leftmost point is 0. It became lower limit. The rightmost point of the region is a, 0. The x value at this point became a, and these are the limits of x. Applying these limits, first integration was performed with respect to y, treating x is constant, and then we were left with a simple definite integral. Evaluating this integral, I obtained the value of integral as a raised to the power 4 upon 8. Now we take one more example to understand how to find limits on a double integral. Example says, evaluate double integral over r x plus y dy dx. R is the region bounded by x equal to 0, x equal to 2, y equal to x, y equal to x plus 2. The region bounded by these straight lines is our region of integration. To evaluate this integral, we shall first draw the region of integration given by r here. Then this region will be used to find limits of the double integral. We know that y equals mx plus c is equation of a line whose slope is m and whose y intercept is c. This distance was c and this angle theta, then m will be tan theta. This line y equal to x has value of c as 0 and slope as 1. So it will be a line passing through origin. This line y equals to x plus 2 is a line having same slope because value of m is same for both lines, but having y intercept as 2. So it will be parallel to this line. Thus these two lines y equal to x and y equals to x plus 2 are drawn like this. Another two equations are x equal to 0 and x equal to 2. X equal to 0, we know that equation of y axis. X equal to 2 is a line parallel to y axis at a distance 2 from it, and therefore the region of parallelogram shaded here is our region of integration. We shall use this region of integration to find the limits of this double integral. For this, I again divide this region into vertical slices. This is an elementary slice drawn here. We shall find limits of y with the help of this slice, and then limits of x will be calculated. On this slice, we observe that the lowest point of this slice lies on this line y equal to x. Its equation gives y equals to x. So x will be lower limit of y. The highest point of this slice lie on this line. Equation of this line is y equals to x plus 2. So with the help of this equation, I shall calculate the value of y. The value of y from this equation will be x plus 2, and it will be upper limit of y. Therefore, y varies from x to x plus 2. Now we shall find limits of x. To find limits of x, we shall use extreme points of the region. The leftmost point will give lower limit of x, the rightmost point will give upper limit of x. We observe that the leftmost point of this region is not unique, but it lies on this line, and on this line the value of x is 0. So leftmost point or left extreme point will have x equal to 0 as its x coordinate. The rightmost point of this region lies on this line x equal to 2, and therefore value of x on this region will be, on this line will be 2. These are limits of x. Thus, limits of x are from 0 to 2 and limits of y are from x to x plus 2. Applying these limits, because limits of y are variable, that is in terms of x, so they must be placed inside. These are limits of y. The outermost limits are constant and they are limits of remaining variable, that is x. Now, we shall evaluate this integral because limits of y are occurring inside, and therefore we shall integrate with respect to y first, and for this x will be treated as constant. So, this x integrated with respect to y will give xy. This y will give y square upon 2, and limits of y are from x to x plus 2. Applying these limits, y will be replaced by x plus 2, so it will become x times x plus 2. Then this y will be replaced by x plus 2, it will be half x plus 2 whole square. Then this y will be replaced by x, it will become x square minus sign due to lower limit, and this will give minus x square upon 2. Now, we simplify it. Simplifying, I obtain x square plus 2x. This term x plus 2 whole square gives x square plus 4x plus 4. Remaining terms unchanged. These x square and this x square are cancelled out. This x square upon 2, this x square upon 2, both are cancelled out. This is 2x and this term will give 2x plus 2. 2 can be taken outside and it will become twice x plus 1. It is not difficult to evaluate this integral, a very simple definite integral. Integrating by using the formula x raised to the power n, it gives x square plus x, limits from 0 to 2, and applying these limits I obtain 4 plus 2 times 2, that is 12, which is value of our integral. Let me sum up once again. We were given this integral and we were supposed to evaluate this double integral. First of all, we have drawn the region of integration. Then we have divided the region into vertical slices. The lowest point of slice was lying on this boundary and its equation is y equal to x. So, lower limit of y was x. The highest point was lying on this boundary. So, value of y from this boundary is x plus 2. It became upper limit of y. The leftmost extreme point of region, however not unique, has x value 0. So, x equal to 0 became lower limit of x. The rightmost extreme point, however not unique, has upper limit of x, will give upper limit of x, which is 2, and applying these limits we have evaluated the integral, and simplifying I obtained the value of integral as 12. So far we have discussed that what is double integration, what double integration represents. We have then learnt that how can we find the limits of double integration if they are not already given. We have also learnt that if limits are given, then how to evaluate a double integral. In this lecture, we have seen that we have divided the region into vertical slices, and due to that the limits of y were calculated with the help of equations, while limits of x were calculated with the help of points. But it is not necessary that the limits of y are calculated in terms of x, means the slice can be taken horizontal also. If we take horizontal slice, then in that case the role of x and y will reverse, the process will remain unchanged. Now we are going to stop. In next region, in next lecture we shall discuss these issues. Thank you.